Welcome, friends, to Clarity Arabic Lab. I'm Abu Israa, and today we're going to take a little journey, well, not so little actually, into the world of Punic scripts and numbers. Now, if you're like me, you might have walked through a museum, or say, wandered the ruins in Tunisia, and come across these ancient inscriptions. I remember years ago, standing in Carthage, squinting at a weathered stone, and thinking, hang on, this looks a lot like Hebrew script. And, well, I wasn't entirely wrong. The Punic alphabet, as Kramalkov points out, is a direct descendant of the Phoenician script. 22 consonantal letters, no vowels, at least not at first. It's a bit like reading a text message with all the vowels stripped out, but, for centuries. What's fascinating is how conservative the Punic scribes were. Even as the spoken language changed, some sounds merged, others disappeared. They kept using all 22 letters. It's like the script itself became a kind of anchor, a way of holding on to tradition, even as the world around them shifted. Kramalkov breaks it down into stages: early Punic, which sticks closely to Phoenician spelling, then later Punic, where you start to see spellings that match how people actually spoke, but the old forms still hang around. Then there's early Neo-Punic, where they start using some letters to hint at vowels, aleph, wa, yod, but it's not a consistent system. And finally, you get Latin letter Neo-Punic, where Punic is written with Latin letters, especially in Roman Tripolitania, from about the 1st to the 5th century AD. That's a lot of change, but also a lot of continuity. I mean, imagine, you're a scribe in Carthage, writing in a script that's already ancient, even as your own language is evolving. There's something kind of beautiful about that, isn't there? The script outlives the sounds, the letters outlast the words. And just to circle back, those Punic inscriptions really do look a lot like Hebrew, at least to my eyes. Maybe that's just me, but the family resemblance is there. Now let's talk numbers. Punic numerals are, well, a bit of a puzzle, but a fascinating one. Kramalkov lays out how the numbers from 1 to 10 work. There are masculine and feminine forms, which, if you know Arabic or Hebrew, will sound familiar. For example, 3 sons uses a different form than 3 daughters. The forms themselves are pretty close to Phoenician. You've got Eser for 1, Eshent for 2, and so on, with gender distinctions running through. When you get to numbers like 11 through 19, the standard Punic way is to say 10 and 1, 10 and 2, and so on. But here's where it gets interesting. In the later Neo-Punic period, under Latin influence, sometimes they flip the order, so you get 110 for 11, a bit like the Latin undecim. It's a small thing, but it shows how languages rub off on each other, especially when empires shift. The tens, 20, 30, up to 90, have their own forms, and then you get compound numbers like 21 or 55. Sometimes it's 20 and 1, sometimes 120. There's a bit of flexibility, and again, gender agreement is key. Hundreds and thousands are there too, MT for 100, LP for 1,000, and so on. And then you've got ordinals like first, second, third, which use a different kind of word building, more like adjectives. I remember reading about a Carthaginian epitaph, can't recall the exact stone, but it had a date formula with a compound number, something like the 16th of the month. In early Punic, that would be 10 and 6, but in late Neo-Punic, you might see 610, just like in Latin. It's these little details that make the study of ancient scripts so rewarding. You see the fingerprints of history, right there in the numbers. So, what did people actually do with all these letters and numbers? Well, a lot, actually. Inscriptions weren't just for show. They recorded official titles, financial transactions, ritual instructions, you name it. You'd find numerals in date formulas, the 3rd day of the month, or consul 11 times, and in records of money, like 55 drachmas. Even medical texts used ordinals, the 5th day, pour honey. It's a window into daily life, administration, and ritual. What's striking is how these scripts document both continuity and change. Even under Roman rule, you see Punic traditions persisting, sometimes in the old script, sometimes in Latin letters, but always with a sense of identity. There's a kind of stubbornness there, a refusal to let go of the past, even as the world changes. And yet, there's adaptation too, borrowing from Latin, shifting the way numbers are written, using new materials and new scripts. I sometimes wonder, what do these scripts teach us about identity and heritage? For me, it's a reminder that language isn't just about words, it's about memory, belonging, and the stories we choose to carry forward. The Punic alphabet, with its ancient roots and evolving forms, is a testament to that. Even when the language itself faded, the script left its mark, literally in stone. All right, I think that's enough for today. If you're curious to dig deeper, Kramelkov's Phoenician Punic grammar is a great place to start. And of course, we'll be back with more explorations of language, script, and the echoes of the past. Until next time, keep your eyes open for the stories written in the stones around you. Salam, and see you soon.